Hey everyone, get a load of this article. This one is going to be a little bit funny, ironic, and something that we can sit back and laugh about just by sheer fact of the irony of the whole thing. Anyways, headline out of this is Yahoo Finance. Cannabis CEO pleads for Ottawa to shut down booming black market. This being reported by Jeff Lagerquist. Yahoo Finance Canada, March 20th, 2019. I mean, first off, look at this guy. I mean, usually I don't try to judge people before I get to know them, but I mean, come on. This guy, right? Cannabis? A pot seller? Your dealer? No. This is literally the representation of one of these corporate hacks that want to cozy up the big government so they can find some way to make it rich in a market that's already flourishing and already existing, but they realize that the only way that's going to happen is if they can somehow compete with the black market, which they can't, which in reality, the black market, that's just political speak for the free market. You know, not regulated, not centrally planned, not dictated, not micromanaged, not controlled, which means competition exists and those that function in that market are free to do whatever they can or whatever they need to become competitive if someone else steps up the plate or a new player or a new entrant offers a better business model. That's what the free market's all about, folks, is allows people to reinvent, refresh, or rethink their business model when some new player or entrant steps up the plate and offers a bigger, better deal. The free market has that ability because there's nothing restraining them from doing so. But when you cozy up to big government and you have to go by the playbook and all those rules and regulations that the government has set out for you to sell your product or your service, like I say, yeah, you're never going to be able to compete with the free market under that kind of scenario. And this gentleman, this Greg Engel, has obviously come to learn that reality. The chief executive of Organigram Holding Inc., OGIV, is calling on Ottawa to live up to its promise to snuff out the booming illegal cannabis market, commanding the lion's share of sales. Greg Engel said he and his fellow licensed producers are facing huge challenges in luring buyers away from black market sellers, offering prohibited perks like same-day courier delivery, free samples, and vibrant packaging, as well as a suite of cannabis-infused beverages and snacks ahead of pending legalization of those products. Our understanding is that for those illicit sources, business has never been better, he told Yahoo Finance Canada in an interview. We continue to hear stories about online or same-day delivery people in major cities in Canada going around giving out free product with their website address and phone number. They are doing things that we would never do. Well, why not? Why would you never do that? Are you saying that you just are inept as far as putting forth good business practices? Because it seems what they're doing works for them. Or is it in reality that it's not that you wouldn't do it, it's that the government prevents you from doing so? I think we both know the real answer to that question. Hey, you chose and want to cozy up to big government for your business? Well, you're going to get what you rightfully deserve. Canadian households spent $5.9 billion on cannabis in the fourth quarter, according to Statistics Canada. The federal agency found $4.7 billion of that figure was spent outside the legal system. Way to go, Canada. Good for you. Hey, matter of fact, let's step that up a little bit. I know that's a huge representation as far as people that are still going to source their marijuana, cannabis, or pot of choice from the free or black market, as they suggest. But hey, let's try to put that number up a little higher. I don't know what's going on with the, $1.2 billion worth of sales in the legal market. Those of you who are going along with that program, what the hell is wrong with you? You're overspending, getting a lower quality product, and beholden to a myriad of government regulations. I mean, come on, chances are probably a lot of these people, that $1 billion of that pie, if it's probably people that, yeah, they're getting it free through some, medicinal government program, or I guess they're just so square that they've never known any drug dealers in their entire lives, or don't know where they can get a higher quality product at a lower price. And I guess the only game in town is government. So government and these crony corporations, I guess, is their only choice. Feel sorry for those people. Engel said while recreational legalization has drummed up unprecedented interest in cannabis and eroding long-held stigma, it has also prompted more Canadians to feel comfortable buying from illegal sources. Well, first of all, Engel, like this guy, like as if he knows what he's talking about. Hey, Engel, that's someone that knows what he's talking about. I've been around these kind of industries. I'm not some stuffed shirt like yourself. You know, I've actually grown up and resided around a lot of these people that sell dope. And no, it's not. It's a new thing. It's like, it's actually a representation of everything that I've known throughout my whole life since I was a teenager. Is yes, there's a very vibrant and flourishing market for cannabis in Canada. And there always has been. Like I said, as long as I've been alive, I've known there's always been a market. If you want to get cannabis or pot, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, in Canada, not a hard thing to do at all. And it's always been that way. This is nothing new, folks. This is nothing new. And in reality, the truth of the matter is, and I've said in past videos, is these people want to get in on the action and take a big chunk of that pie. Well, hey, if you want to do that, that means you have to try to compete people function in the free, or I guess as you call it, the black market. How are you going to do that with all that bureaucracy, all those government regulations and taxation, all those extra layers of cost? No, people don't want to spend extra money if they don't have to. And as a businessman, come on, you should know this. They just see cannabis as legal, he said. Well, as they rightfully should, right? Wasn't that the pretense of legalization? Although this person, once again, he's basically acknowledging that, well, hey, we were supposed to be able to take over and monopolize the industry because the government was going to help us in that regard. It doesn't seem like they're holding up their end of the bargain. Oh, well, suck it up, buttercup. Engel said the industry is concerned about the enduring strength of the black market and perceived inaction from Ottawa. It's a frustrating situation, he said, since depriving criminals of cannabis profits was a major part of the government's case to fully legalize the drug. Well, that's the funny part. So if you sell it, if you do the exact same transaction, like you get somebody, although I'm sure this guy's not doing it, but if you get someone to grow some weed or cannabis or pot, right, and then you sell it out there on the market or to people, if you get your government license, a piece of paper from your overlord, your mafioso, well, that's legal, right? But if someone else does it without getting like their permission slip from their central plan overlords, you're saying that these people are criminals. Really? Doing the exact same transaction. Nobody's being harmed along that whole transaction. The whole thing is happening voluntarily by all participants, but somehow someone without the government permission, they're criminals. Yet you, lobbyists, you dipshits that want to cozy up the government, which is, like I say, a representation of force, which isn't voluntary. They're imposing force, their will, and mandates on the people. But you're saying that the people that are doing it under the voluntary means, they're criminals, but the people that are using the big, gigantic gun in the room, I guess you're all benevolent actors and just want your share of the pie. Anyways, I'll post a link to this article in the description of the video below. I just figured, come on, this is the fact that somebody would get on with a media and basically beg and plead government, like, please, I'm not competitive as a businessman. I just can't create a good business model that can compete with the free, or as he called it, the black market. So please, government, help me out. I'm a loser. And if I don't have government pointing guns at everyone, preventing them from competing with me, well, I'll just never be able to win. Like I say, these people, not very inspiring, are they? Right? No, not exactly the corporate leaders that you'd ever want to follow in their footsteps or their foot tracks. Because chances are these fuckers are probably getting deeper and deeper in the quicksand the more steps they take, because they don't seem to know how to get out from underneath ridiculous business practices as far as asking government for permission and how your business grows and flourishes. Well, if you're asking government for that kind of information, well, think about it. The only way government fills their coffers is by literally forcing and threatening everyone to pay up or be punished or penalized accordingly. Like I say, this person's saying, well, hey, I want that power. Well, even with the government and even with your lobbying efforts, as you'll see, all that power you seek will never have the ability to destroy the free market, or as you call it, the black market. Watch and learn. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.